Mr. Senate Secretary Acosta, thank you for joining us. We've got a problem in Chicago, gun violence. It's primarily among young people, primarily minority populations. We also find something else. There's a 40% unemployment rate among young blacks in Chicago, 40%. 20% or higher in Latino populations. And we find something pretty amazing. If we can get many of these young people in a job, trained for in a job, it does amazing things, changes their lives. I'm not making it up. A few weeks ago, I went to the Urban League office and met with Curtis Martin. Curtis Martin is Exhibit A in what you would expect to turn out to be a gangbanger, eventually in prison, but he's not. And it's because he got in a program financed by the federal government and got him into a job. He's working nights at UPS. It's not easy work, but he's damn proud of it, and he told us that. And he's talking about going back to school now. It's a good thing. Now I look at your budget, and you're cutting this program by 20%. You know, the president noticed the violence in Chicago and tweeted about it a couple occasions. I'd like to read you what the president said. January 24th. If Chicago doesn't fix the horrible carnage going on, 228 shootings in 2017 with 42 killings, up 24% from 2016, I'll send in the feds. Then February 23rd, the president tweeted, 7 people shot and killed yesterday in Chicago. What is going on there? Totally out of control. Chicago needs help, the president tweeted. How does a 20% cut in a program like the one that helped Curtis Martin help Chicago?
So let me say a few things, Senator. First, I appreciate your point. As U.S. Attorney, I took steps to address gun violence using prosecutions. But one of the points that I made is ultimately prosecutions aren't the solution. We need to find jobs, and we need to encourage young people to graduate high school and to have skills. And that's something that I talked about greatly. Just in the past week, I had the opportunity to meet with workforce development councils at the National Conference of Mayors. And then I met with local officials at NALEO, the National Association of Latino Elected Officials. And later this week, I'm going to be meeting with representatives of some other groups, many of whom face similar issues with economically challenged regions. And my message to all of them is let's work together. Let's develop apprenticeship programs that will focus on these populations, because the best thing that we can do for them is to provide them a pathway to a job by giving them job skills. Now, I understand that the budget, to go to your question, I understand that the budget reductions are an issue, and so we're looking at ways that we can make the programs more efficient and more effective and work with the private sector.
But I hate to interrupt you, but I have one more question.
Yes,
I'm just going to say this. I'd like to invite you to Chicago. I want you to come to the programs that you're proposing are going to be cut. I want you to meet the people who are in those programs. When we say send in the feds, I can agree with the president. I want to send you in. Come on over to Chicago. Take a look at what your programs are doing, what the cuts will mean.